He's a 9-time Formula 1 Grand Prix winner, a FIA World Endurance Champion, and today he's a Porsche ambassador and a TV pundit. And he's here at the IAA trade fair in Frankfurt, Mark Webber. We're going to talk about some interesting topics with him about future mobility, urban lifestyle, and of course about some new technologies. And that's the point where I hand over to a Schaeffler expert, and they're talking about some new innovations.
So, have you ever been to Formula E?
I have been to a race, Gregor. Yeah, I went to Monaco this year, so it was quite interesting to see it. Obviously, it's very, very quiet, but yeah, it was good to see the cars, and I saw this particular car obviously have a pretty good weekend.
Yeah, and generally it has been a quite good season for us at Schaeffler, winning the trophy with Lucas. But are you a fan coming from a more of a combustion-based series?
I'm enjoying it, but the big token for me was when I was also involved with battery technology in LMP1. So then I saw the amount of torque, the amount of power, the four-wheel drive capability of the 919 hybrid Porsche, which was incredible. So that was the big box tick for me, that electric is still can be sexy.
So what you can see here are some of our products. So on the left side we have a hybrid module, which is used for hybridization of existing products like combustion engines, combustion cars. We have the e-axle drives for hybrid vehicles as well as purely electrical ones. Yeah. And then for urban mobility, we have our one specialty.
This is amazing, huh?
Yeah,
Wow.
it's quite a high level of integration. So what we are doing here, and what you can see in the background as well, is one of our e-wheel drives. Yep. So with that, we are integrating all the technology that we need to drive an electric car, the inverter, the motor, as well as all the regular wheel components like a brake and the wheel itself into the wheel.
So no real axle either. They win a lot of room, right?
Exactly.
Packaging.
That's the idea. So packaging is one of the main benefits.
Yeah, so low for people to get in. You can get more people in. I mean, bang for buck, it's a very, very efficient, as you say, package to get people around in. Gregor, this little baby here, what are we doing here?
This is an autonomous taxi actually. And as you can see, it can turn the wheel 90 degrees, so it can parallel park without turning the steering wheel. It just parks sideways. So a lot of interesting stuff in the future for us, and we hope to be as successful there as we are in Formula E.
And the timeline was 2020, right? So you're looking at this was for the wheel. I mean, in terms of it's going beyond.
Exactly.
Its application. So what's your expectation on time frame for this technology?
That's a bit complicated. So we are looking into it right now, but we obviously need the right interest from the OEMs to make that happen.
Good luck.
Thank you.
So Mark, 1 year ago you hang up your race boots, and are you still happy with that decision, or a little bit wistfulness right now?
Look, I miss parts of it. I miss my teammates. I miss a little bit of the vision towards getting a successful outcome with all the work that goes in. But in terms of the risk and the other things that come with a job, I don't miss those. So in general, I had a long career. I'm in one piece, and I'm very happy. So, but I'm still close to the team, so I get a little bit of adrenaline from the guys talking to them.
You were a world-class driver, but it's not always about winning. It's sometimes about losing. How do you stay tuned in that time?
Yeah, well, when you have a long career, of course, you're going to have some difficult moments as well, right? It's not always that you have a tailwind and it's always going your way. So. I think that's the drive and determination that you naturally have within yourself. When you're going to have tough moments, you've got to get back up and go again. Also around the team, of course, the whole team is feeling low if you get beaten and we didn't do a good enough job. We have to come back in a few weeks' time and make sure that we can work on where we're weak and communicate well and be open with ourselves and not get too personal and hung up about whose fault it really is, and just accept that we have to do better. And you never stop learning. I mean, even now, of course, I'm 41 now, but when I was racing, you think that you know everything, but you don't. You constantly learn about how to make yourself better.
Is that the moment of deepest learning when you're losing?
Absolutely, yeah.
So because you gain knowledge. It's not all about losing.
When you're winning, you don't feel you learn as much as, of course, when you're losing. And I think it's a good quality to have. Of course, when you're on the back foot, you have to reflect and look at how you can get more out of the situation.
In this special case, it's just like with olives. Some of them like them, and others really don't like them. And there's nothing in between. That's quite similar to the Formula E. So what's about you? Do you like olives and Formula E?
Look, I was a skeptic, of course, when it first came out, but then when I also used the technology in the 919, in the Porsche, I was exposed to battery technology. I was exposed to the performance of these systems now, how efficient they are, how much power they have. I mean, you know, the power of the four-wheel drive system we had on our 919 is of course, absolutely phenomenal, close to 1,000 horsepower in certain regulations. So that opened my eyes to it, to be honest. It opened me to say, okay, you know, this is very, very good for the performance, unbelievable for the stopwatch. We use very, very little fuel, so it was quite interesting in terms of carrying a very small fuel tank for getting a similar result. Of course, the weight of the batteries, everything together, is also not light, of course. But we're on this incredible curve now of technology to understand how we can make this better. And of course, Formula E is fully electric, which is there's no hybrid situation there with the combustion engine. So the challenge for them is, of course, is full efficiency, the thermal challenges of this this category to get everything in the right window. And yeah, so. I'm better than I was. Yes, I do like olives too. I like olives and I like watching it.
Yeah. So you joined a race, or did you see?
Sure, I've been to a couple of races. I've been to some tests as well. I've got some friends racing in it this year, so I'll keep an eye on them. But obviously with Porsche, we are coming in a few years to Formula E, which we're excited about. And
so maybe it's a time for a comeback for you.
No comeback. I won't fit in the car.
Comeback.
Too many
olives.
Too many olives.
All right. And Porsche said they want to bring in 6 years every second car on the street, which is electrical. Do you think that's possible, and do you think that's a good decision to do that?
Well, firmly believe that that's the way to go. I think that, you know, the industry now, the car industry, is in such a incredible path to see where it's really going to go and navigate their way through that. Of course, there will be some mistakes along the way from some manufacturers on maybe what that decision was. But what does the consumer want? What's ethically correct for the environment? You know, where are we going to put all of these technologies that we use today? Where are they going when they're not used in the future? Where are they going to be? Where are they going to be? You know, sort of, I suppose, the waste of these type of technologies, where they are going to go. So there's a lot of questions which still are evolving. But yeah, we're so excited about our technology going forward because it's been proven on the racetrack as well. That's very, very important for Porsche as well. The transfer of technology, the reliability, the efficiency, the racetrack gives you so many honest answers about so many things quickly. And racing drivers are also very fussy. So we want the systems to be very, very efficient and user friendly. So that's all well and good for Monday to Friday on the streets.
It's a big step to get an electrical mobility. What could be an interim technology? Could it be hybrid? Of
course. I mean, hybrid is the answer right now. It's something that we at Porsche, we know very well, and that's something we're very confident that we're market leaders in doing a great job on that. So that's very, very good for us. And then you have the big step, of course, away from the combustion being in the car and going fully electric. And then we have to look at, of course, the interface in terms of the charging and all of the things which are in the cities. What is the marriage between getting these systems up and running day to day in everyone's life? Because it's going to be quite an aggressive curve, right? So where's the support from the government? How is all these sort of things going to work? Because there's one side having the pressure from the government to produce these products, but also you need the infrastructure on the ground to get the people also happy with they can get their cars filled back up.
When we look at 10 years into the future, what is mobility for you? Is it urban? Is it electrical? Is it autonomous? What is, for you, the future mobility?
Well, it's a pretty spooky question you just had there, because I think when you look at autonomous,
you're not afraid about such a question. You're a race driver.
I am.
That's, really?
Yeah, I'm a control freak, of course, behind the wheel. So autonomous is something which is probably going to happen as well. Which is a huge step, right? I mean, you see aeroplanes now, there's certain scenarios, a lot of scenarios where the plane is obviously can do a lot of the work itself in terms of this computer software. So that's going to be a huge, I suppose, deal breaker in terms of how the industry will go, in terms of how the autonomous and how we're going to introduce that autonomous into the normal environment. When's, like I say, when's the hybrid leave? When does drivers leave? You know, where do we have all of these junctions in our runway going forward? Is going to be very challenging.
You were racing with David Coulthard, and David Coulthard is now doing some development in tires with Cooper tires. Is that a possible way for you to do some development, maybe with Schaeffler or Porsche, or do you do that right now?
Of course. I think that racing drivers are always popular because we know we have worked with the best engineers, we have worked with the stopwatch.
And you know how to drive an engine to the end.
Yeah,
right?
and also the other you know, developments that we have around all the other items on the car. So I'm with Michelin. David's with Cooper, but I'm with Michelin. Michelin is an exceptional tyre company, and of course they are always looking at ways to create a higher grip tyre. Noise, of course, road noise is a huge topic for tyre manufacturers now because of the engine is making very, very little noise, if it has an engine at all. So it's fascinating how in racing terms we are used to dealing with all the 1%ers, and the 1%ers will make a huge difference on Monday to Friday.
You were saying right before that it is a marriage. What is between the marriage between, for example, mobility and lifestyle? Will it be closer in the future? So it's not only about driving, it's about living, and living is about driving. So we have a completely new kind of mobility.
Yeah, I think that, look, sustainability is a powerful word right now. Everyone's looking to give something back, which is great. I always, if I see some rubbish when I'm mountain biking, I pick my rubbish up. Like I try to be. We live in a beautiful place. Unfortunately, men, as humans, we have not done a great job in taking care of our globe. Let's say, is the car industry going the right way? We hope. There's a lot of other things that are happening. Freight with shipping. Airlines, I mean, there's so many things which you can look at in terms of nuclear plants and all these things. I mean, where does it end? But in the end, I think people are looking for convenience. They want to feel like they're giving something back to this beautiful earth that we have, I suppose. So it's quite deep, if you like. But the technology is there, so we have to embrace it. Well, we don't have to, but it's an interesting thing to accept this technology. And see how that will evolve in terms of convenience and lifestyle, and yeah, just how you're going about it with your children as well, and all these type of things.
All right, last question. We're here on the IAA trade fair, and did you see some kind of future mobility that you like, or what's your favorite car? I think it's a Porsche right now.
Definitely a Porsche, yeah, but I haven't been around much. I literally just come straight in. I did the interview with you, so it's been a quick start.
So a quick and a very good start. Yes. I think perfect start for this trade fair.
Yeah, no, with Schaeffler, I mean, it's great to come here. I mean, the stands, the technology's here. I mean, we can see the inbuilt technology in the wheel, for example, with an incredible, let's say, a brain of technology inside one wheel, and it can be articulated for very special parking. These type of things I've never seen that before. So yeah, with Schaeffler, you really have an incredible opportunity. And what I like about Schaeffler, they have their eyes open. They are always looking for ways to not be disappointed if they have to look for different ways to do things very, very quickly. So they're very open for new ideas, and they act fast.
All right, thanks a lot. Have fun here.
No worries.